None of your niggas gonna stand in my way, cause shorty this.
You know what to pass is still a boy AKK video from EDU-GURUS. You know what it got me, then it got it all, homie. So guys, here now we are done with the major activity where we are focusing on the disposal on how to depreciate an asset from the date of purchase to the date of sold, right? So guys, we're specifically focusing on the diminishing balance method into this activity. So guys, I hope now this video was beneficial to you. I hope you guys will be able to depreciate an asset from the date of purchase to the date of sold using the diminishing balance method, because of diminishing balance method, it's actually a problem when it comes to fixed assets. Note, most of the students they fail to apply diminishing balance method, and I think and I believe that like after this activity, you guys will be able to apply that application, right? So now I'm moving all along to additional activity here as you are done with the major activity. So in today's additional activity, guys, I've tested a one rent rule, right? Remember what I said to you earlier before when I was supposed to apply one rent rule, guys? Remember, even though we can have a long-term assets, what do you mean? We're not talking about the long-term assets. We're talking about the assets that they can operate for more than a period of 12 years. That's what you call what? Non-current assets or long-term assets. So even though this asset they can operate for a long period of time, they are also limited for certain years. They're also limited for a say 10 years using the useful life. So one of the major problem about grade 11 and grade 12 questions don't tell you how long will the assets be used or how long the assets can be used. They don't give you guys the useful life. That's the problem when it comes to grade 11 and grade 12's question paper. They don't give you what? They don't give you the useful life of the assets. Remember what I said earlier before about the useful life of an asset. The useful life of an asset is actually a period that the assets can operate, which is actually the period of more than 12 months. I hope it does make sense, right? So guys, you guys, my fellow grade 11 and my fellow grade 12s, we are not given the useful life into the question paper. So therefore, there's the long process that we have to take so that we can identify whether the assets have reached its useful life or not, right? So guys, this is the long process that we're going to take. I hope you have seen you have followed this example when I was analyzing the information. So I'm not going to go through to this example again. I'm just going to give you guys or remind you guys about when to apply one rent rule, right? So how to apply a one rent rule? It's whereby the assets have depreciated more than what it worth or have depreciated more than its cost price. Why do assets depreciate more than its cost price? Like I said earlier before, the asset depreciated, it only depreciate more than its cost price when it have reached useful life. It useful life. Then you guys decided like to continue to use that particular assets what they have reached its useful life. Therefore, it will depreciate. That's whereby we are going to get our accumulated depreciation as a higher value than our cost. I hope it makes sense. Let's just take a practical example. Let's say the vehicle can operate for a period of 5 years. So because you always save this vehicle, and after 5 years, so this vehicle of yours is still productive, then you decided to continue to use it even though it has reached its useful life. Then now let's say now we are in a year 6, you decided like to use this vehicle of yours to produce economic benefit. You decide to use it, therefore it have to depreciate. So when it depreciate, right, your accumulated depreciation, it will be more than your cost. Like when you take your accumulated depreciation at the end on a year 5, whereby we have come across, or it is actually the current year whereby we have reached the useful life of an asset, your accumulated depreciation for year 5, it will be the same as your cost. And when you come to your year 6, the assets it will also depreciate. And when you take your accumulated depreciation at the beginning and add it by the depreciation, it will give you high value than your cost price. I hope it does make sense, guys. But then we're going to go through to this example, right? So if the asset it was used for more than it is for life, therefore it will depreciate more than its cost price. Then it will give us what? It will give us our negative assets, which it is restricted according to historical cost, according to historical principle. The historical principle is that the asset is supposed to be recorded with its original cost price, right? So it restricts us from recording negative assets into our fixed assets note, right? So hence we are forced to apply a one-vent rule. Because of what? Because we cannot have a negative asset into the book of the business, guys. So guys, I'm going to go through to this question with you guys. It's actually a very nice, interesting question, but it's a tricky. So then let this question to tricky you guys now. So now let us go through to our information. I hope you guys, you now know when to apply the one-vent rule, right? So now let's go to our question. It says K.EK Pty Ltd is the biggest trading company around South Africa, which has been operating for a period of 2 years, with a financial year ended 28 February. Remember what I said to you guys? I said, first of all, whereby you have to read this information here. It will guide you to do what? It will guide you to prepare your financial year. So I hope you guys are busy preparing your financial year. If your financial year ended 28 February, remember when it started from the 1st of March. Right? But then we are not sure about the year that we are currently in, that we are forced to prepare our financial statements on, right? I said to you earlier before, after reading this information, just go back to your required and check which current year are you supposed to prepare your financial statements on. Let's check the required date is prepare all the necessary ledgers account for the year ended 28 February 2021, right? So guys, this is very important information, meaning our current, our financial statements or whatever we are required to do, it's supposed to be specifically focusing on the current financial year of 2021. Remember, let's just check this required, okay? You guys rest assured that like they are not specific about the ledger account that you're supposed to prepare, like the first activity. Let us just go back to the first activity requirement. According to this first activity here, they were very specific that like your general ledgers, this will be for vehicle, then a T account of cost. Then here they were very specific. They said accumulated depreciation. Then here they said asset disposal account, right? But like that, when this question says that like we're supposed to prepare all the necessary ledgers, it includes everything, but then we will be guided by our information, which ledger account are we supposed to be specifically focusing on. If the assets were sold, we know the major ledgers that we're supposed to focus on. If the entity bought a new vehicle, we know the ledgers account that we're supposed to focus on. So actually I was testing here what a student they do know if we sell an asset, which ledger account are supposed to be affected. If we decide to buy an asset, which ledger account are supposed to be affected. Then let us just head to our additional information, which special ledgers are we supposed to focus on, right? Then it says one of K.EK Ltd. Let me just make a dot here. Okay, one of K.EK Ltd printing machine that was bought when the company was established. You guys rest assured this information is not that much clear. It says one of K.EK printing machine that was bought when the company was established. Let us just cut it here. One of K.EK printing machine that was bought when the company was established. Let us just go back to our information to get actually when this company was established, right? It is K.EK Ltd. Is the biggest trading company around South Africa, which has been operating for a period of 3 years. So now let's check the current financial year that we are in according to our required. The current financial year that we are in right about now is 2021. How are we going to get when the company was established, the year whereby the company was established? We are going to take the current year that we are in right about now, subtract by 2 years back so that we can know when the company was established. Are you guys rest assured that the very same the very same year that we're going to get there, whereby we are going to say 2021 subtract by 3 years, it will give us 2018, meaning that's the date or that's a year whereby the company was established. Then we were told that the financial year it ended when it ended 28 February. So therefore, if we know this, if we know that our company was established on 2018, therefore it was established on the 1st of March 2018. I hope it does make sense. I hope it does see, guys, how tricky this information is. But like then, as an accounting student, you should be able to apply your principle, right? So just apply the principle. This is actually what you know. But like then, this is something different from what you have been tested on, guys. So don't confuse yourself. The principle is still the same. Just apply the principle, right? So now I would like us to move to our Excel and do our calculations there, right? So now we are in what? We are in additional activity. There's the information, which is some of the information miss here. I don't know what's happening about this Excel. Keep on cutting my information, right? But like then I said to you earlier before, what is important after reading the first information? You prepare your financial year. So this is my financial year. I said to you guys, we were given actually how long does the company been run? They have been operating for the period of what? For the period of 2 years. Then now this is actually the current financial year that we are in 2021. Then for us to get the year whereby the company was established, we're just going to take 2021, subtract by 3 years, it would give us what? The year of 2018, which is actually the year whereby the company was established. So let's just continue with our information here and see what happened when the company was established. Guys, please, it's very important to analyze your information attentively. So guys, let us just go back to our activity here. Okay, it takes one of KAEKP2I LTD printing machine that was bought when the company was established. So now we know the printing machine, it was bought when? On the 1st of March 2018. What happened to this printing machine that was bought on the 1st of March 2018? Let's say it. It was sold to the local printing shop on the 30th of November 2020. Let us just cut it here. Remember, the major thing that we're supposed to focus on whereby the assets was sold, right? I said to you guys, this is very important. These are the very major thing that you guys are supposed to focus on when you start your when you're focused on your disposal, right? Sorry guys, sorry for not talking for a few minutes. I just had like down here my Excel is missing, guys. My Excel is missing, so I'm just going to take a short break so that I can go straight to my Excel, right? So please bear with me, right? So now I said to you, whenever the asset was sold, right, we are focusing the major thing that we're supposed to highlight its cost, accumulated depreciation, and the selling price, guys, right? And the selling price. Let me just make the dot here. The selling price. These are the major thing that you should be focusing on when the information you talk about the sold assets, right? So let me just go to my Excel here, right? Let me just open my Excel here. I'm sorry for this. Let me just open my Excel. Just give me a few minutes, guys, right? But then let's just go together to my Excel here. My download, then here it is. Here it is, guys. Here it is, right? So now, guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, this is my information, right? This is my information here, right? Of additional information. So let us just write the things that we have wrote there. First of all, we started with our financial year. We started from the 1st of March. Then it says April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, and February, right? This is my financial year. Let me just paste it. Then remember what I said to you, those calculation whereby we were calculating when the company was established. I want to write this down so that you guys can get memorandum, right? So you see in 2021, subtract the years, we get the year whereby the company was established, which is actually 2018, right? So now I say to you, we have come across what? The disposal. So what a major thing that we're supposed to focus on is our cost. Then let us just hear from the information whether do we have any information related to the cost of the sold vehicle, right? So if you continue with our information, it says the printing machine that was bought when the company was established, it was sold to the local printing shop on the 30th of November 2020 with its carrying value. Right? So we can all agree that our selling price is going to be the same as carrying value because of we sold it with what? With its original carrying value. So now we cannot identify our selling price because of we have to calculate first what? The carrying value. And for us to calculate the carrying value, we have to look out for what? We have to look out for the cost and accumulated depreciation so that we can check the difference, which is the difference. It will give us what? It will give us the carrying value, right? Then let's continue with the information. It says the printing machine that was sold was bought with a historical cost of 100,000. So now we can all agree that our cost is going to be how much? Our cost is going to be 100. It's going to be 100,000, right? That's my cost. I said to you earlier before, guys, don't be afraid of figuring out by historical cost. The historical cost is the same as your cost price, right? Then they say the entity used the cost price method to depreciate the machine with the rate of 40%. Remember what I said to you earlier, guys, before? I said to you, if you're not given the accumulated depreciation, right? If you're not given accumulated depreciation, they should give you what? They should give you the date of purchase. So according to this information, when was the date of purchase? It says this printing machine was bought when the company was established, right? So we have found out when the company was established. According to our information, it was established on 2018. Right? It was established on 2018. So because of our financial year ended 28th February, therefore our company started from March, right? So we can all agree that this company was established on the 1st of March 2018, right? So that would be the date of purchase of this printing machine. That will be the date of purchase for this printing machine. Then what's the next thing that we're supposed to focus on to? I said to you, guys, you're supposed to do what? To highlight when the machine or the asset was bought. Then the next step is to identify the method, the recommended method that the entity used to depreciate the assets. Here's the information. It says the entity used the cost price method to depreciate their machine with the rate of 40%. So now we thought that being given, we can now identify what? We can now calculate our accumulated depreciation, right? Remember what I said to you earlier before, guys? You have to find what? You have to find your accumulated depreciation, right? Then this accumulated depreciation, it should be the depreciation from the date of purchase to the date of sold. Hence, you're going to take a long process of calculating the depreciation for the year of 2018 to the year of 2019. Up until to our current financial year that we are in right about now, right? Up until to that current financial year that we are in right about now, right? Remember what I said to you earlier before? I said even though the company force the entity to depreciate their assets using the diminishing balance method, but because the company have not depreciated within that current financial year that was bought, therefore it's the same as us applying the cost price method because of we are not going to have accumulated depreciation. But then that's not the case to this additional activity because of according to this additional activity, the assets is the cost price method, right? So our cost price method is just the cost of 100,000 multiplied by the recommended rate, which is 40%. 40% divided by 100. And remember, this machine was bought when the company was established, right? So it was on the 1st of March 2018. So within the current financial of 2018 to 2019, this asset was used for the whole year, right? So what's the total there? I get my total as 40,000. I don't know about you guys, but then we'll confirm that. Let's just grab our calculator and confirm that amount. But remember what I said to you earlier before, what is important is your principal. You applying your principal. Your total will not be taken into consideration, or it will not be marked. As long as you apply the principle, then you're in a good track, guys. So please, the principle is very important. So yes, I've confirmed it. I come across 40,000. So now we are moving all along to the current financial year of 2019 to 2020. So within this current financial year of 2019 to 2020, this asset was used for the whole year, right? So we are going to take 100,000, which is our cost, still applying the cost price method, multiply by the recommended rate, then multiply by the whole 12 months. Because of during the current financial of 2019 to 2020, this assets was used for the whole year, right? So we are going to come across our depreciation as 40,000. Remember, the very same principle, the depreciation of current financial of 2018 to 2019, which is 40,000. It will be the accumulated depreciation at the beginning for the current financial year of 2019 to 2020. Same applies to this accumulated depreciation of 2019 to 2020. Remember, for me to get accumulated depreciation at the end for the current financial of 2019 to 2020, I have to take my previous accumulated depreciation at the end, which is going to be 40,000, and add it by my current depreciation. It will give me what? It will give me accumulated depreciation at the end for the current financial of 2020 to 2021. But now I'm not going to write it down because of actually that's not what they're going to need, whereby we apply the cost price method, right, guys? So now let's continue applying our cost price method. Then we'll calculate accumulated depreciation at the beginning and at the end on the later stage, right? So now I'm in the current financial of 2020 to 2021, which is actually the current financial year that we're supposed to prepare our financial statements on, and also the very same financial year whereby the assets was sold, right? So still continue with applying my my method here. Cost price multiplied by the recommended rate of 40%, divided by 100, then multiply by the month the assets was used for the current financial of 2020 to 2021. So let's just go back to our information and check when was this asset sold. It says it was sold on the 30th of November 2020. Let us just go back to our financial year and see when the asset was sold. It was sold on the 30th of November. So you can all agree that this equipment it was used for the whole month of November. So meaning from March to November, that's whereby my asset was used. How many months do we have here? Remember, we only depreciate this particular assets only for the month it was used during this current financial of 2020 to 2021. How much? How many months do we have? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. How many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I come across 9 months. So therefore, we are going to apportion this assets for the period of 9 months only over 12 months. How much am I getting there? I get my depreciation as 30,000, right? Remember, guys, what I said to you earlier before. I said to you guys, when you prepare when you calculate your depreciation, guys, before you can calculate your accumulated depreciation at the end, just make sure always just make sure your accumulated depreciation at the end, when you add your accumulated depreciation at the beginning and your current depreciation, just make sure that your accumulated depreciation at the end, it is not more than your cost price. If it is like that, therefore you have to apply one rent full. So let us just check according to this information. Let us just check according to this activity whether our accumulated depreciation at the end is bigger than my cost price. So now I'm calculating what? I'm calculating my accumulated depreciation at the end. Like whenever you're going to do a fixed assets note, guys, please just follow this principle or just follow this process before you can conclude. Before you can conclude that my depreciation is 30,000, right? Now we have calculated what? We have calculated the depreciation for the current financial of 2020 to 2021. Before you can add this to accumulated depreciation at the beginning and conclude that the totality will be accumulated depreciation at the end, please check first whether your accumulated depreciation at the end it is greater or less than your cost price. If your accumulated depreciation at the end is less than your cost price, therefore you can conclude that the total, whatever the total that you're going to get there, you can conclude as your accumulated depreciation at the end. But if you take your accumulated depreciation at the beginning plus your current depreciation, then you find out like your accumulated depreciation at the end is more than your cost price, then that's whereby you will be forced to apply one-to-one rule. Like it will not be specific into the question. Let's just check this question here. I said to you guys, let's just check the first information here. I said to you, additional activity, how to treat the assets that have depreciated more than its cost price. When it comes to the question paper, it will not be specific. But for you as accounting, then you should be able to identify that. How do you identify that? You identify it whereby your accumulated depreciation at the end it is more than your cost. Therefore, that's whereby we know our one rent rule principle, it will be affected, right? It will be applicable actually, right? So now let's calculate our accumulated depreciation at the end, right? Remember what I said to you earlier before? I said all the previous depreciation before we come to this current financial year, they will be regarded as what? They will be regarded as your accumulated depreciation at the beginning. Then for us to get the accumulated depreciation at the end, we are going to take what? We are going to take our current depreciation plus our accumulated depreciation at the beginning. So into this case, my accumulated depreciation is going to be 40,000 plus another 40,000. 40,000, then plus what? Plus my current depreciation of how much? Of 30,000. Then what's my total here? Then I just press our calculator. It's gonna be 80,000 plus 30,000. So I come across my accumulated depreciation is 110,000, right? So then this is my accumulated depreciation at the end. What I said to you earlier before we can conclude that 110,000 is our accumulated depreciation at the end. Let us just check whether is our accumulated depreciation at the end less than our cost price. If so, therefore, we can conclude that 110, it will be our accumulated depreciation at the end that will post it into our note tree. But if your accumulated depreciation at the end, it is more than your cost. So therefore, guys, we are forced to apply 112. Let's just check this information. Our accumulated depreciation is how much? It's 110. But our cost is 100,000. Right? So we can all agree that our accumulated depreciation at the end is actually more than our cost price. So therefore, we cannot conclude or consider this accumulated depreciation at the end as our final accumulated depreciation at the end that will be posted into our note tree. Why? Because of it will give us a negative assets, which is not in accordance with our principle, with one of our GAAP principle. We cannot have a negative asset into our note tree, but we are forced to apply one rule to avoid having a negative asset. So what's the next step after identifying this? So the next step that I always advise my student to do is to calculate when the accumulated depreciation failed, then we conclude that we are going to apply the cost one rent rule. Then what's the next thing that you have to identify? Identify your accumulated depreciation. Identify your accumulated depreciation at the beginning, guys. Identify your accumulated depreciation at the beginning. So into this case, my accumulated depreciation at the beginning is going to be much. It's going to be how much? 40,000 plus 40,000. It will give me what? It will give me 80. Sorry, it will give me 18,000. So as always, this accumulated depreciation at the beginning, it will be less than your cost price, right? So what's the next step after identifying accumulated depreciation at the beginning? Then now you can identify your carrying value at the beginning. Please guys, follow these steps. They are very important. Accumulated carrying value at the beginning, guys. So what's my carrying value at the beginning? My carrying value at the beginning is going to be 100,000. Subtract my accumulated depreciation at the beginning, which is how much? 80,000. Then what will be my carrying value at the beginning? It will be 20,000, right? And after doing this, what are you supposed to do? Remember, we are still completing what? We are still forced to complete or to calculate our depreciation. So therefore, after identifying our accumulated depreciation, it's more than our cost. So therefore, this depreciation, it will not be applicable because of like whenever we are going to add this depreciation, it will lead us to get what? To get a negative assets, which is not in accordance with our principle. So therefore, the depreciation that we have calculated here, it's not applicable. It's not applicable. Let me just write it down. Why? Because of like whenever we edit, it make our accumulated depreciation to be more than our cost price, which is not in accordance with the principle, right? It's not in accordance with the principle, so therefore it's not applicable because of it give us a negative assets. Right, so now we are calculating accumulated depreciation at the beginning and the carrying value at the beginning to identify what? To identify our current depreciation that we're supposed to record it where? That is supposed to record it into our note tree. So after guys calculating your carrying value at the beginning, then the value that you're going to get there, it's going to be your depreciation, but after subtracting R1. Now we are applying what? We are applying R1. So what will be our current depreciation? Our current depreciation, it will be 20,000. 20,000 subtract by how much? Subtract by 1. Subtract by 1. Then we're going to get how much? We are going to get the value of 19,999. So therefore, this is what? This is going to be my depreciation. Let us just check after calculating our depreciation. If we are going to add this depreciation to my accumulated depreciation at the beginning, where am I going to get my accumulated depreciation at the end as negative, as the value higher than our cost price or as the value less than our cost price. Therefore, if now we are now calculating a new accumulated depreciation at the end, if we combine our opening and our new depreciation here, it's supposed to give us what? It's supposed to give us a less value than our cost price, right? Let us just put that. Now we're calculating what? Accumulated depreciation at the end. It's gonna be how much? It's gonna be accumulated depreciation at the beginning of 80,000 plus my current depreciation that I've calculated, right? Which is 19,999. Remember, we said that one is not applicable, right? We said that one is not applicable because of like whenever we edit, it gives us or it leads us to have what? To have a negative asset, which is not applicable or which is not in accordance with the principle. So if you take 80,000 here, added by our depreciation of 19,999, I come across the depreciation of how much? Of 999,000. Sorry, not 999, but it's 99,999, right? So let us just check whether is our accumulated depreciation less than our cost. Our cost is 100,000. Then my current accumulated depreciation at the end is how much? 99,900. So therefore, it's in accordance with the principle because of like it does not lead us to have a negative asset at the end. So let us just check our carrying value. So now we are answering what? We are answering we're answering number 2. Show the effect. That's very important. Show the effect of the assets as it will appear in your financial statements. Remember what I said to you earlier before. If it says show the effect of the assets as it will appear in your financial statements. Remember, whenever we are going to have a disposal, how many financial statements are going to be affected? First of all, the statements of financial position of balance sheet is going to be affected. With how much? With the carrying value of that particular assets. Then again, the statements of profit or loss, or in short, our income statement, it will be affected with what? With profit on sale of an asset or loss of an sale of an assets. That's the effect that we have to show here. That's the effect that we have to show here. So now we know our accumulated depreciation at the end is applicable. Why? Because of like our cost is less than, actually our cost is higher than accumulated depreciation, which will not give us what? Which will not give us our negative, which will not lead us to have a negative assets. So now applying our carrying value formula, carrying value is going to be how much? It's going to be 100,000, right? Then subtracted by my accumulated depreciation at the end of 99,900. So therefore my carrying value is going to be what? Because of I have applied what? I've applied 1 rent full, guys. So there's the effect that will appear in my note 3. The very same note 3 that will be posted where? Into the statements of financial position, or where? Into income, into balance sheet in short, right? So now let us just calculate the effect that will appear where? Into statements of profit or loss. Remember what I said to you earlier before, guys. Remember, according to this information, what happened according to this information here? According to this information here, it says the very same asset that was sold on the 3rd of November 2020. It was sold with what? It was sold with its carrying value. Meaning our assets on the 1st of, or it was on the 30th of November, it was costing how much? It was costing 1 rand, right? Then we decided to sell it with what? We decided to sell it with the same value of 1 rand. So therefore, guys, we have not gained something there, because of like you sell, when you sell maybe your assets with 1 rand, which is actually the value that it worth. Therefore, you have not generated any profit. There was no economic benefit there. There was no economic benefit or commercial substance, right? So therefore, there is no effect that we're going to show in our income statement, guys. So we are done answering number 2. That's the answer of number 2, 1. So now let us just go straight to our ledgers. Remember, they were not specific about the ledgers, right? They just said to you, prepare the necessary ledger account, right? So we all know as accounting student that the necessary account, it would be what? When the assets are disposed. If the assets are disposed, what would be the necessary ledgers account? The accumulated depreciation account, it will be affected. The cost account, it will be affected. And also the disposal account, it will be affected. Including the depreciation account, it will be affected. In case whereby we sold an assets with profit or with loss, a profit account, it will be affected. In case whereby we generated a profit, and in case where we generated a loss account or loss on sale of an asset, it will be affected. But then into this case, remember we've sold the asset with its carrying value. So there's no any profit on sale of an asset. There's no loss on sale of an asset. So therefore that one is not required. But like that, let's just focus on the major assets that are always affected, guys. So here I'm going to have what? Let me just start with my assets disposal account, because of like it's a long process to go, right? So my assets disposal. So remember, guys, it's always in my asset disposal account. I said to you earlier before, this is actually not a continuous thing. This is actually something that may happen during the current financial year. So it does not have any opening balance and it does not have any closing balance, right, guys? And now let me just move to my cost account. What was sold? What was sold, guys? What was sold according to the information? We sold what? We sold a printing machine, which is in short, we can regard it as what? As an equipment of the business. So it's gonna be equipment. So we decided not to type equipment. You see, guys, my Excel is disappointing me now. So let me just use another account here. Let me just say equipment here. Yes, equipment, right? Equipment, which is actually in short the cost price account, right? Remember what I said to you earlier before, guys, that this is the cost price account, right? So it increased where? It increased on the debit side. And I said to you earlier before, it's a continuous account, right? It's a continuous account, so it does have opening balance. But then into this activity, I didn't give you guys the opening assets because of I was only testing 1.4, guys, right? So we are not going to have any opening balances, but then take into consideration that the equipment account, it's actually the summary of what? It's actually the summary of the cost of the assets that we have into the business, right? So because this assets were sold, it will decrease the equipment account. So what are we going to write there? Assets disposal. Assets disposal. Remember what I said to you guys earlier before. I said to you guys, whenever you are going to have an asset disposal into equipment account, it shows you that the very same amount that we are going to take into consideration here, let's just write the amount. You are going to write it again into your asset disposal account. Where? On the debit side. Why? Because of you are applying double entry principle. Whenever you are going to record into credit side, when it comes to its original account, it's supposed to be recorded where? It's supposed to be recorded on other side, right? So we are going to record the very same amount where into our asset disposal account as what? As an equipment. Why? Because it shows you that the very same amount it comes from equipment account. Very important, guys. This is how I analyze my ledgers. This is how I analyze my layers to make it simple for me, guys. So I hope that will help, right? I hope that will help. And now let me just move all along to my accumulated depreciation. Did I vote my accumulated depreciation account here? No, I did not. So let me just write it here. So guys, I'm not going to prepare equipment to prepare actually my depreciation account because of like this selector. Okay, here it goes. We type name. So let me just write my depreciation here. I'm sorry, I'm not able to write it in the middle here because of like if I write it in the middle here, it doesn't show anything, right? So I don't want you guys to be confused. Let me just write it there. I know I'm not supposed to write it there, but then let me just write it there, or let me just write it here. Okay, yeah, let me just write it here. Depreciation. So this will be my depreciation account, right? So let us just close off our equipment account, right? So under our equipment account, guys, we cannot close it because of we don't know our opening balance. So can we just please leave it like that, right? But then we have prepared what? We have prepared all our necessary ledger account. So now let's just focus to our depreciation, right? So guys, this depreciation, here is my depreciation account, right? So where is it? An expense account? I think is where? I think is in my debit side, right? As accumulated depreciation, which is actually the county account of my my debt depreciation. I'm not going to write it in full. So my depreciation, the counter account of my depreciation is my accumulated depreciation. The counter account of the depreciation is accumulated depreciation. What does this emphasize? It emphasizes that the very same amount you're supposed to record it where you're supposed to record it in your accumulated depreciation account. Where on the credit side, why? Because of like into the depreciation account, you record it as what? You record it on the debit side. So now when you apply the double entry principle, vice versa, we record it on another side. So what was my depreciation for these sold assets? Please, guys, the depreciation, it was what? It was 19,999, not 30,000, because of we said earlier before that 30,000 it's not applicable. Why? Because of like whenever we add 30,000, it gives us the high accumulated depreciation more than our cost price, which will lead to us to have a negative asset. So it's not applicable in or it's not in accordance with what? It's not in accordance with our principle, with our accounting principle. So therefore, we are going to take what? We are going to take 19,999 as what? As our current depreciation. I hope you guys are still following and I hope you guys are still well. So now let us just prepare our accumulated depreciation account, right? So I'm not going to have any opening balance for my accumulated depreciation account because like I said earlier before, I was testing only one friend full, right? So we're not going to have any of opening balance, but we all have to always remember that my accumulated depreciation account and my equipment account, it is a continuous account as it gives you, as your accumulated depreciation account, it gives you the summary of the depreciation from the date of the purchase to the date the assets will be sold. The same applies to my equipment. They give you the summary of all the cost price of the asset that we have into the business here from the date of purchase to the date whereby it's going to be sold. Remember what I said to you earlier before, guys, is that accumulated depreciation is going to be affected on the debit side whenever we have what? We have an asset that was disposed. We're going to record it as what? Assets disposal. Why? Because of like the very same thing, we are going to have to record it where? You have to record it where? In your asset disposal account. So this, it emphasizes that the very same amount, you have to record it where? You have to record it in your asset disposal account where? On the credit side, because of in our accumulated depreciation account, we have recorded on the debit side. I hope it does make sense. Then here, guys, please, we come only with accumulated depreciation at the end. What was my accumulated depreciation at the end for this disposed assets? Here it is, 80,000 plus 19,999. So it's what? It's 99,999, guys, right? I'm not going to close this account too. So let me just move on to my asset disposal account. What is my asset disposal account here? I'm going to record what? My accumulated depreciation, guys, with how much? With the very same value I've recorded into my accumulated depreciation account. 99,999, guys. So now, I said to you earlier before, we have to identify what? We have to identify our selling price. My selling price, because of this asset was sold with its carrying value, is going to be 1. So let's just here, it was sold in cash or what? Really emphasize, right? They say like it was sold only to the printing shop on the 3rd of November 2020 with its carrying value. Then they emphasize whether it was bought on cash or it was bought on credit or whatever. But then in short, you can just say here the bank / creditors control. They were not specific. They just told us it was sold to the printing company, actually to the local printing shop, right? So I suggest that you can just write bank here as what? As 1, because of this asset was sold with its carrying value, right, guys? So I said to you earlier before, we into this part, we don't have any profit or loss because of my asset it worth 1 rand. On the 3rd of November 2018, the assets worth 1 rand. Then I decided to dispose it with the same value. So therefore, there's no any commercial substance there. So I'm going to record my bank or my selling price as 1 rand as it is. So if I balance my account here, I get my totals as 100,000. Let me just show you the difference between this question and the question I've set here. This is my equipment. Do you guys still remember the equipment here? Do you guys still remember the equipment? Do you guys still remember the equipment accounts? Let me just say, okay, remember, right? Whereby we are preparing our equipment account, right? We have come across our carrying value of 102,060. Then my selling price, it was how much? 102,061. So this is very different from this activity here of addition. This is very different from additional activity, because of into additional activity, I sold my assets with its carrying value, which was worth 1 rand. Whereby we have to apply what? We have to apply 1 rand principle. But here is it's different story here. It's different story. My selling price is given as 102,060, which is not the same as the carrying value of 102,060. So therefore, I've just checked the difference, identify my profit on sale of an asset. Here we have profit, but into additional activity, we don't have a profit. Why? Because my carrying value and my selling price is the same. But here, my carrying value and my selling price is not the same. It's way different. So hence I'm saying here, my profit is going to be 1 rand. Yes, my profit is 1 rand, which is actually, it was about to be the same as my carrying value here. But here we were applying 1 rand principle. But here we were not applying a 1 rand principle. Why? Because of my accumulated depreciation at the end, it is not more than my cost price. But here, my accumulated depreciation at the end, it was more than my cost price. Hence, we were applying what? A carrying value, 1 rand full, right? Hence, we are applying a 1 rand full. So please don't confuse these two. I've set this question on purpose, right? So please don't confuse yourself, guys. Please, 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 please. If you don't remember how did you come across this, please go back to the video, comment there so that we can give you guys more clarity about these different two questions here. It's not the same. Here we apply 1 rand full. Here we generated a profit of 1 rand without applying a 1 rand full, guys. Please, very important, very important, very important. So guys, welcome to the end of our session. I hope this video was beneficial. I hope now you guys will be able to depreciate an assets from the date of purchase to the date of sold using the diminution balance method, because of it was the main issue to my fellow grade 11s and my grade 12s. They were not the application, it was difficult for their side to depreciate an assets from the date of purchase to the date of sold using the diminution balance method, especially whereby we have so many years to depreciate an asset. It was actually a problem to most of the students. But then, if you got this principle, guys, please don't confuse yourself. This is the principle that will be running out even though you are coming to tertiary, guys. This is the very same principle that will be using. Accounting is the same, it doesn't change, guys. But then there will be some development. But principle is still the same, guys. So please, guys, don't confuse yourself. Don't confuse yourself. What you have to know, but just write it like this. You see, how did I wrote this part right here? How did I wrote this part? Always identify your accumulated depreciation at the end so that you cannot be confused. Remember, as always, your previous accumulated depreciation at the end, when it comes to this current financial year, it will be what? It will be accumulated depreciation at the beginning. That's the major thing that you have to grab when it comes to the diminution balance method. That's the main thing that confuses most of the students. So guys, please, the very same principle, the very same application, the very same workings that I did here, please do the very same thing when it comes to your test, your term test, when it comes to your examination, your assignment, project, and everything. It will always be the same. The reason why, guys, I decided to post or this activity, or why I decided to focus on note 3, guys, and disposal, special for disposal, it is because of guys, I'm tutoring from grade 11 to second year tertiary student. My student, they always do the very same mistake you guys are doing. So guys, do yourself a favor, just master it. when it's still on this level. Just master this principle when it's still on this level, because of like when you come to your second year or your first year, things are going to change. So if you don't have a background of what you did in grade 11 and grade 12, things are going to be hard for yourself. My student, I'm telling you, they're doing the very same mistake here. They are doing the very same mistake. Even I by myself, I do the very same mistake. Guys, I do the very same mistake. So guys, please practice so that you can be used to this a long process of calculating the depreciation from the date of purchase to the date of sold using the diminution balance method. So it requires a practice, guys. Then you will never face any difficulties about depreciating an asset from the date of purchase to the date of sold, guys. Same applies to the one rent full. You practice, then it will never be the same again. You will never, like ever in your life, get stuck or do something otherwise than this. As always, one of the major things, do your calculation. What is supposed to do your accumulated depreciation at the beginning, do your current depreciation. If you add them, then it gives you like a higher accumulated depreciation at the end, more than your cost price. Like if your accumulated depreciation at the end it's more than the cost price, then just know that your one rent cool, your one rent full will occur. Then what's the next step after identifying your accumulated depreciation at the end? You identify your accumulated depreciation at the beginning, which is always less than your cost price, right? Then from there, what's the next step after identifying accumulated depreciation at the beginning? You have to identify your carrying value at the beginning, right? Which is always less than the depreciation you've calculated, right? So from there, you guys are going to take your depreciation, subtract by 1, and therefore this will be your current depreciation. The very same one that you've calculated previously is not applicable, because of whenever you add it, it gives you the higher accumulated depreciation than your cost, which make you to have a negative asset, which is not in accordance with our principles, basically focusing on historical or historical principle, guys, right? So guys, the depreciation here, we are going to take 20,000 subtract by 1, then we are going to get our filial depreciation. Therefore, we are going to take our accumulated depreciation at the beginning plus the current depreciation that we have calculated here. It will give us what? It will give us accumulated depreciation at the end. Then our carrying value, cost subtract by the current accumulated depreciation that we have calculated there, which is this one of 110. It's not applicable. That's how we apply one rent full, guys. Please, guys, do yourself a favor. Master this content, my fellow grade 11 and my K12. And there's like, when it comes to K12, guys, fixed assets, it can be tested in paper 1, and also it can be tested on paper 2. That's what I've realized. So guys, please, I'm begging you, master this process so that you can like avoid making mistake, so that you cannot waste time. Most of my tertiary student, guys, when like the semester test, it have a notary. Now you are not no longer calling it a notary when it comes to second year, my tertiary student, or my first year. Now we are calling it a PPE. So whenever PPE is there into the question, then it's a problem to my fellow student. My student, they skip the question, or if they decide to write it, they don't finish to write. You know why? Because you guys, you don't practice this long process. It's a long process that require a lot of calculations. And I'm telling you, we have a lot of principle mark whenever you apply your principle here. So guys, please master this long process. Do yourself a favor, master this long process so that you can be familiar with, so that you can finish writing your semester test, right? So yeah, guys, this is still your boy EK Kifride, one and only mentor from EDU-GURUS. You know, when you got EDU-GURUS, then you got it all. Yep, guys, please, guys, the very same principle, right? So, guys, my friend is still finding out, guys. My friend is still finding out My brain is still running out. My brain is still running out. So guys, please make sure like you place your order on this following number 083 427 311, or you can email us on a2101gurus@gmail.com. Place your order, guys. Our print is still running out. Then, guys, whenever you feel like you want to sponsor EDU-GURUS, you are more than welcome to WhatsApp us. You are more than welcome to WhatsApp us. Anything will be highly appreciated. Whether PC, mouse, anything, it will be highly appreciated, guys. Any resource that you'd like to contribute to this lovely organization, whether a whiteboard or anything, guys, like if you know any of the sponsorship, like you can comment on the chat box, then we will make a follow up there, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. So let me just introduce my department here. Let me just introduce my department. Let me just introduce the department of EDU-GURUS here, so that you guys can know my colleagues, the very same people. Who am I? Because of them, like this organization here, we end up being on this level because of these members of this colleague of mine, the department of EDU-GURUS. So we have our mentor, AI Mukorwa. AI Mukorwana, this is our mentor, a postgraduate of Become Accounting. Very like motivation, like it's a motivation to this lovely organization. Really appreciate the support, AA Mukorwana. Then I have my trainees here. As you guys can see here, my trainees, these are actually people who are going to become tweeters, right? Then I have my first trainee here, the Mekole. I don't know how to pronounce my colleague's name. The Mekole. Sorry if like I didn't pronounce your name correct, guys. I'm sorry for that. Then this trainee of mine, he is from CUT, guys. So he's holding there in CUT. Then soon I'm still providing like trainings for them so that they can be tweeters. So D Mekole is the one who's holding the NCUT. So he's pushing. My guy is pushing CUT student education student, first year education student, guys. Then I'll have BL Chiba. She's from UFS, so she's still our trainee. So she will be tutoring soon. She will be tutoring our second year tertiary student, right? She will be tutoring a second year tertiary student, but for now, she's still in the process of becoming a tutor. But like then, I've gave her a first year CT student. So Dame Kola and BL Chiba, they're the one who are busy like providing sessions and everything for my first year CT education student, right? Then I have my lovely tutors here. I have SP Mahlangu. SP Mahlangu is my tutor. He's my tutor from UFS. He's a third year student doing Become Accounting. So yeah, he's a tutor, a second year tertiary student. Then I have AS Sally. So Sally, guys, she's also my tutor. She's tutoring here in UFS. She's tutoring second year tertiary student. Then I have Zed Molefe. She's from CUT. So she's tutoring second year auditing student. So guys, we have my editors here. These are the editors who edit our question papers, guys. These are my lovely editors who edit my question papers. So guys, like I said to you earlier before, this is actually an organization whereby we set our own question papers. So whenever we set our own question papers, these are my lovely editors here who are editing our question paper. We have OM Mahlari. So Mahlari, she's one of our editors. She's from UFS too. She's doing Become Accounting second year student. Then we have Katie Tilo. So Katie Tilo, she's also one of our editors. See, she is from UJ. She's doing LLB second year student. Then we have S. Dumbela. S. Dumbela is also from CUT. He's doing our editing, guys. So it's also a second year tertiary student. Then you have our video editor, MT Ngoha. MT Ngoha, she's also from UFS, guys, doing Become Accounting, second year a tertiary student. So guys, she's the one who's editing these lively videos of us. So guys, here we have me here, the founder of EDU-GURUS, EKK video, you know the vibes. This is the one and only mentor, EKK video. Then guys, when you got EDU-GURUS, guys, then you got it all. Then you got it all. So guys, welcome to the end of our lovely session here. I hope this session was beneficial. So we really appreciate your comment there, guys. We really appreciate your comment. So please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Share even also to your lively classmates. So guys, like I said earlier before, into this organization, we have public sessions, but these public sessions are free, right? Are free only for second year student and also our first year student, guys. So guys, like I said earlier before, these public sessions, they are actually for second year tertiary student and our first year tertiary student. But our first year, our first year student, like it's only free public service for our first year education student, for CT student, right? Then as for second year, we only offer free service for a UFS student, second year a UFS student, those who are doing BCom law, those who are doing education, those who are also doing BCom accounting, right? Then in CUT there, we offer free public service for our second year auditing student and also our first year education student, right? Then from there, from grade 12, we also have online sessions, free public online sessions, which is actually have a limited number there. So for 2022, we have reached the limited number. So the first session of my grade 12s, they will start from December. Usually I push starting from December with my grade 12s. So I will be able only to recruit grade 12s on the 1st of December, or as soon as you guys get your report, your final report for grade 11. That's where I will start to invite my grade 12s. I will issue an advert here all around South Africa, guys. For K-12, like it's an online. We don't have any face-to-face sessions with the K-12, so it's online. It's via Zoom or via WhatsApp, guys. So as soon as like you guys get your report for grade 11, your final report for grade 11, I will issue a post here. I will even issue the video. I will post it in your YouTube, all social media platform, guys. So for now, I'm sorry, I'm limited for 2022, so I'm not going to add any of the student again. So as for grade 11, I only offer visual session like I do here. I issue the videos via YouTube, and we don't have any private, we don't have actually any public service for them. We don't have any public service. It's either like we issue visual here, like we are doing right about now. But as for WhatsApp groups and everything, no, I don't do anything for grade 11s. I just like only issue visuals so via YouTube. So do yourself a favor, grade 11s, you can comment on the chat box there which topic you guys like us to present, then we'll issue the video. But again, if you want one-on-one session, guys, or a private session, online private session, then you have to book it on our lovely email, edu101gurus@gmail.com, or you can just WhatsApp me or 83 So those who are around Bloemfontein, my grade 11s, those who are around Bloemfontein, and my grade 12, those who are around Bloemfontein, if you want private session, you can WhatsApp me or you can email us. I will drop all the details about our emails and our WhatsApp numbers here. So my grade 11 and grade 12s, if you want any of the private session, you can just contact me on those numbers, right? Yes, guys, I will issue a post soon for my grade 11 and my grade 12 who want private sessions. So, guys, yes, then those who are around Bloemfontein, those are the one who I can only have physical sessions with. But those who are outside Bloemfontein, then we'll have online private sessions. So make sure like you have enough data so that you can have an online session. So guys, I will issue the price soon about our private sessions. I will issue a post soon about our private session. Then as for first year tertiary student, we don't have any public service, so they also have to go for private sessions. First year tertiary student, first year tertiary student for both, only for UFS. For UFS student, first year student, we don't offer you guys free public service. You have to go for private sessions. Even though from other tertiaries, we only offer free public. We only offer free public service for CUT student, first year CUT student. Then if you want to know why, just comment on the chat box. I will answer you. I will give you a valid reason why I don't offer free service for first year UFS student and other tertiaries. I will give you a valid reason. So guys, our free services, they are only for UFS student and CUT student. But like then, we are still looking out for other college students. So for college student, as EDU-GURUS guys, we are willing to offer you guys free service, but whenever you guys are going to fail to comply with our rules and everything, then we'll convert a free public service to a private session. So guys, if you are from college, motel, or any other private college, just text me or comment there. I'll grab your numbers and open a special group for college students, whereby we'll be giving you guys a free public service. It can be online and also it can be physical or face-to-face for those who are around Bloemfontein. Yeah, guys, this is still your boy EK Kevado from EDU-GURUS. You know, guys, you know when you got EDU-GURUS, then you got it all. Welcome to Home of Hope. Welcome to Home of Hope, whereby you have come to an end of your problems, guys. So together we can all be a counting shining star. Tango means thank you, guys. I'm out. Shining star. Tango means thank you, guys. I'm out.
Now they hear niggas go spin in my wig, I show that this pain is real the game. Now they hear niggas go stand in my way, cause show that this pain is worth the gain. Why you still pulling me back from getting what's mine? And nigga be broke as fuck. Now they hear niggas go stand in my way, cause show that this pain is worth the gain. Why you still pulling me back from getting what's mine? And nigga be broke as fuck.